What's going on, YouTube? It's been a minute since I've been on here. Got a lot of updates on the truck. Some big stuff has done ended up happening. Thought I'd come on here and share. Don't mind the wiring mess. I mean, it's an old junk truck. But I guess, I think it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had the opportunity of a lifetime, in my opinion, to get something for the truck. Oh, they're giving away hints. Get something for the truck to make it a little bit nicer. I got my new alternator bracket put in. And that nice new pulley. There's a wide belt right there. It's a nice alternator on the other side, I'm just saying. I got it all cleaned up, been working on it, getting it nice and pretty. Got me a new carburetor. And I guess by the hat you can kind of tell what's coming next. Yep, that's right. I bought a Torque Storm for it. Hadn't tuned it yet. I literally just got this stuff done. Still sitting here cleaning it up, making her look pretty. Let me zoom in just a hair. She is pretty. I'm gonna try to keep it this clean too now. It's a little bitty old thing, I ain't gonna lie, but my buddy assures me it puts out a lot of air. So we're gonna find out. Because I ain't looking for crazy numbers. I just like the sound of it, and I like to have a little bit extra pep from what's in it. Because, I mean, it's fun to drive, but this will just make it even funner. But, yeah, I called the guys up at Torque Storm, told them what I was doing, told them what I wanted. Because, you remember, I told you I was going to put a blower on it. Well, technically, they call it a blower. It is what it is. It's centrifugal supercharger, if you want to be technical. I was going to put a 671. Don't mind all this fuel line and stuff. The new carburetor, I had to buy a Demon blow-through for this. And the new carburetor didn't come with the right stuff to hook to my fuel log. And I've got the parts ordered. Old Sam at 441 Speed Shop's got me hooked up with it. They should be here sometime next week. And next weekend I will be uploading videos of tuning this thing, trying to get it to make some power. Right now I've got the timing set at 10 degrees total just so I don't screw something up, to be honest. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm taking it to my buddy Steven. He's going to help me figure this thing out. He's always liked these little Torque Storms. He's never had one, but he's always heard good things about them. And I said, you know what? It's kind of cheap. Screw it. I'm going to buy one. So I ended up buying one. And so far, I mean, it's kind of noisy at idle. Don't get me wrong. It's a little bit noisier than I thought it was going to be. But then again, I mean, it's got a good sound. I mean, the truck sounds totally different. I mean, it honestly, it sounds almost like it's got a cam in it now. I guess it's just a little bit of air that's pushing through with it, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, it runs pretty good now. I mean, I did some updates and stuff. I didn't want to put this in. Don't mind the wire, because I ain't finished yet. I didn't want to put this in without an ignition box. Chevy rules. Without an ignition box and to have a rev limiter, just in case I break a drive shaft. Or you do a burnout and you don't watch it, because I ain't got a tachometer in this truck yet. In case you do a burnout and you go a little too high, I don't want to sling a rod. I don't want to blow this motor up. That ain't the point of this channel. That ain't the point of this truck. But I did also, so I could look at everything and keep up with it, I bought me an AFR gauge. And I'll crank it up and let y'all listen to it. Oh yeah, y'all didn't see this. I got me some blinkers now. And speaking of that, I just want to add on, I know this ain't what y'all care about, but I want to add on here, I did a little custom work. My backup light is my blinker now. Because see, with the new, it's a long story. If you want to know about it, and you want to know if you're wanting to do this to a truck like this, hit in the comments, let me know you want an extended version. I'm not going to put y'all through all that. But long story short, had to wire things different to make the blinkers and tail lights work. But if you want to know any more about that, just hit it up in the comments and I'll be happy to make another video going all the way in depth of how I did it, what wires I used and everything. Cleaned up the wires a little bit. I still got to put carpet in this thing. I still want to put a roll cage in it before I do carpet, because I'm definitely going to have to do a roll cage now. But depending on what this thing will do at the track, there's actually a hard tire race coming up in April the 1st down at Middle Georgia Motorsports Park. Yes, I did make sure it was not an April Fool's joke, because that's the first thing I thought of when I seen April 1st. I said, y'all better not do this to me. I'm not really a contender for it, but I do want to get in it because I am trying to do everything on this truck with hard tires just to have a little fun with it. But all right, that's enough said. Let's crank this bad boy up. Uh-oh. Oh, I see the problem. Give me just a second. Pull my air hose back just a little bit too far. All right, that should be good. Yes, you may not run no more. I did idle it up. It's already all the way up at operating temperature, but still got a lot of tuning to do. Like I said, the carburetor's out the box. I'm not doing anything crazy. I mean, I gave it a couple pats and it goes all over the place, which I know. Let me shut up for a minute. Let y'all listen to this thing. And that's how the cookie crumbles. So I ended up just throwing this thing on here just to do it because I got bored this weekend. I wanted something to do. I'm probably fit to go home and sit on my butt, to be honest with you, because I have had a long week and this just made it even worse. Got a little water pump running. It does heat up a lot quicker and it does hold temp a lot more, which I knew that was going to happen. I had already knew that was going to happen. But yeah, put me an AFR gauge in it so we can tune this thing and I can keep my eye on it. Try to make this sucker survive until September, October, because in September, I'm trying to think. Maybe it is October, but October at the latest, I'm going to have the funds to do heads and cams, and a set of heads and a cam, sorry. And that's when this thing's really going to wake up. Because, I mean, push come to shove, the motor made about 350. Well, no, not even that. It made about 325 to the crank without this, with just the way it was, carburetor, intake, just alternator. That's probably, well, even with just the alternator, I'd say 300. We'll be conservative and say it was 300 horsepower. This is only going to add maybe 100, 125 in the stock configuration of the engine. Because now when I put a bigger cam in it and put a lot better flowing heads, and some headers, we're looking to be around 600, 650, somewhere in there, which for a big block is still very low. I mean, there's naturally aspirated big blocks that pull 800, 900 horsepower, no problems, and last forever. I can't afford those, so this is what I can afford. But yeah, I was actually between heads and cam and the blower, and I'm happy I went with the blower because it really sounds good. The exhaust sounds a little more aggressive, and the front of the truck sounds more aggressive. But I will say there's absolutely no way somebody's going to believe that this thing is stock now. Then again, I don't know. I've seen people do these on little 4.3s now, and they're pretty nasty. They make almost as much power as this thing makes. But I figured I'd give y'all this update, and I'm going to shoot some videos next weekend while we're tuning. We're going to do some Mexico stuff, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I actually had to trim my motor plate, and I got to keep a watch on that. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. Then again, I ain't got much of an option. If it doesn't work, I'm going to end up doing something different, to be honest. I'm going to have to do some kind of mount that actually mounts to the frame on each side. It will stay a solid mount. I like solid mounts because I'm in the truck rattles a little bit. It's fun. It is what it is, and I'm rambling on. And the air pipe is not going to stay there. I'm actually going to pull it all the way back here, shoot it down, and build me a custom box down there to where it'll suck a lot colder air in. That way to kind of help this thing stay cool. Because, I mean, I'm not sure what IATs are going to be on this thing. I really don't know. I don't plan on hounding it that much in the summertime. I don't plan on driving it that much at all, but then again, it is fun as hell to drive. But I will eventually put an intercooler in it because I've got plenty of room to do an intercooler. But when I do the intercooler, I want to do the piping right. I want to get a chrome hat, well, a polished hat. And maybe, the only thing I don't like about this is that casting flaw right there. It's a little rough looking. I don't necessarily like it, but then again, it is what it is. Turbos are the same way. For the price, you can't talk bad about it, to be honest. Man, it's pretty cool looking. A little video fine. But alright, that's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all do watch, if you don't watch, hey, I'll watch this years from now. Probably kick myself for selling this truck, which I hope I don't sell this truck. But I know how I am. I get a wild hair, I get depressed, get to feeling bad and sorry for myself, and I'll just frickin' sell everything I own. Well, Silverado ain't here, but look at the Silverado. I said I'd never sell a system in it, but I did. And no, I did not spend that money on this. This was different money. That money is spent on something else. That was a part of this, but not that. All right, everybody, I'm going to let y'all go. That's 11 minutes. I appreciate it. And as always, like and subscribe.